This is Daddy from Busy Daddy Cooks. Today we are making traditional mooncakes, but in a non-traditional way. We'll be making mooncakes in an air fryer. First, let's go over some important ingredients. This is golden syrup, or sometimes known as inverted sugar. If you can't find golden syrup, you can always substitute it with honey. Should you be using honey, omit the next item on the recipe list. And that's lye water. Lye water is alkaline water. It's an additive to many Chinese dishes like hand-pulled noodles, steamed buns, and of course mooncakes. Lye water preserves the mooncakes so that they will last longer. Lye water also gives the mooncake skin a golden color. If you cannot find lye water, just use normal water. But substitute the golden syrup for honey. Next, for the filling. I have here lotus paste and white lotus paste. Nowadays, filling comes in all sorts of flavors, like chocolate, green tea, and durian. Pick any flavor that you like. Lastly, these are salted egg yolks. I will touch on these later in the video. Let's start by making the skin. In a mixing bowl, combine 60 grams of golden syrup, 30 grams of cooking oil. You can use any type of oil here as long as it is flavorless, like vegetable oil. You will also need half a teaspoon of lye water or alkaline water. Stir this really well with a spatula till everything is combined. It took a bit too long, so I switched to a whisk instead. Once the ingredients are well combined, add in 100 grams of all-purpose flour. Or better yet, use low-protein flour like cake flour. Mix all this well with a spatula for about 3 to 5 minutes till you get a smooth paste. Once you have achieved a smooth dough, wrap it up in cling foil and let it rest at room temperature for at least 2 hours. Next, for the salted egg yolks. I bought these salted egg yolks from the store, but if you cannot find ready prepared salted egg yolks, you can buy salted eggs and remove the yolks. Put the salted egg yolks on a plate and mix in 2 tablespoons of Chinese cooking wine. Now, bake or steam these egg yolks for about 5 to 10 minutes. These are mooncake molds. Instead of labeling them small, medium, or large, these molds are sorted by weight. Mine is a 125 gram mold. The 125 grams does not refer to the weight of the mold itself, but the amount of content it can hold. All your ingredients should add up to about 125 grams. This 125 gram mold makes the standard large size mooncake. For the filling, You will need 115 grams of filling. Measure this out and roll it into a ball. Cover it with a plastic wrap to prevent it from drying out. Back to the dough or the skin. After resting the skin for about 2 hours, unwrap it and divide it into 4 equal parts. You will also need 1 salted egg yolk for each mooncake. Now, to put everything together. Take a piece of the lotus paste and make a hole in the center. And drop the salted egg yolk in the center. Cover it and roll it into a ball. Make sure that you do not trap any air bubbles in the filling itself. If you do not want to use any salted egg yolks, replace the salted egg yolk with an equal amount of your filling. If you are using 2 egg yolks instead of 1, just remove an equal amount of the filling to make space for the extra egg yolk. Back to the dough or the skin. Next, take a piece of dough and flatten it in your hands. Put the filling with the salted egg yolk in the center and flip it over. Push down on the dough a little. Stretch the edge of the dough so that the whole filling is covered. Again, make sure that the filling is fully covered and there are no cracks and no air bubbles. If the coverage is uneven, just push down on the thicker parts and spread it out to even out the skin thickness. You need not be perfect here, so just do the best you can. To mold the mooncakes into shape, sprinkle the mooncake mold with some flour. Do the same for the mooncake itself. The flour will prevent the mooncake from sticking to the mold itself. Put the mooncake in the center of the mold and use your palm to gently push the filling to the edges of the mold. Then, gently but firmly, push down on the filling till you compact it between the top and the bottom of the tray. To bake the mooncakes, put a baking sheet at the bottom of the basket of your air fryer. Spray the mooncake with water. This is to prevent the skin from cracking while it bakes. Bake this at 200 degrees Celsius for about 5 minutes just to set the pattern on top of the mooncakes. Meanwhile, prepare the egg wash. You will need 1 egg yolk, 2 tablespoons of milk. This egg wash will give you a darker colored mooncake. If you prefer a mooncake with a lighter color, just use milk. After baking for 15 minutes, remove the mooncakes. Set it aside and let it cool. This cooling process prevents the filling from expanding too quickly and cracking the skin. When it's cool, brush on the egg wash. Don't forget to brush the sides as well. Bake this at 165 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes till it's golden brown. After 5 minutes, repeat the process. That is, brush another layer of egg wash onto the mooncakes. Then, bake it again at 165 degrees Celsius till it's golden brown. This should take another 5 minutes or so. Notice that each time you brush on the egg wash and bake the mooncake again, the mooncake turns a deeper, richer shade of golden brown. After baking, you will notice that the skin is relatively hard. The mooncakes do not look good and they do not taste good as well. Mooncake skin should be soft and moist. To get this soft and moist texture, keep the mooncakes in an airtight container. Let it rest for 2 to 3 days. After 2 to 3 days, the skin will become glossy because the oil would have come up to the surface to keep the skin moist. These are traditional mooncakes done the untraditional way, using an air fryer.